morning, y'all. I'm the old kid with Houston Auto Auction. Of course, I have Dr. Al right here beside me. I've got Chris, I've got John, and I've got Howard over here. And we wanted to talk to you a little bit about our Christmas sale on December 10th. And of course, it's going to be the normal stuff, free lunch that day, prizes, everything you buy will qualify you. But that's not really why we're here on this particular video. The reason we're here on this video is we're doing something very, very special this year. From now through our December 10th sale, we're going to be donating money to the Wounded Warriors. We've got a $5,000 goal to start out with, and we put $1,000 in the pot to get started. And there'll be a link at the bottom of each and every one of these videos that we put out about this, where if you want to donate something, man oh man, by all means, go to that link and donate. You know, whatever dollar amount you want to put in would be wonderful. So with that said, we kind of wanted to introduce you to a few veterans that we have that work with us. And Dr. Al and I had a few questions we want to ask them, and they may have some comments themselves. You know what, I'm going to pick on Howard first. He's been around here longer than anyone else, probably longer than me. Howard, is my understanding you're a Vietnam veteran?
Yeah.
What year did you go in?
1970.
Were you drafted or did you volunteer?
I volunteered.
Good for you. You know, that was when everything was going on with the draft and everybody wasn't necessarily crazy about it. But, you know, with that said, we've got John here, and John is still active in the reserves, I believe. Am I correct, John?
Yes.
What year did you start?
I started in 2005.
And I should have asked Howard this. Did you learn a trade, or did they teach anything over there that you brought back to the your civil life?
I went in as a mechanic, which is what I do as a way to make a living now.
Right. That's right. John's our head mechanic out here. Chris, what about you? How do you know this character?
I was in the Army in 2000 when I started, and I met him in Fort Benning in 2005 when he came in. And me and him went on his first tour and my third tour to Iraq together in 2005.
Wow.
And we were together for a year and a half over there.
Wow. How many tours did you go?
I did 3 total.
3 total. How long is a tour? Because I'm not sure.
First one was 6 months. The second one was 12. Last one was 15.
Wow. Wow. John, what about you?
I've done 3 tours. I had a 15-month in Iraq and then 2 12-month tours in Afghanistan.
And you couldn't get enough, so you kept on going. Howard, what about you?
I spent most of my time in Germany.
Really? So you probably got a taste for good beer.
Yeah, a rather good taste for it.
Dr. Al, you got anything you would like to ask?
Just maybe what branch of service were y'all both in?
Army.
You were in the Army. And did you get to keep your rifles when you left?
I wouldn't want
No.
that thing.
How do they check them? I've always wondered. I didn't have to go in the service. I was fortunate.
They issue you out, when you go to your unit, they issue you out a weapon, and it's your weapon. You maintain it, you shoot it, you zero it. It's yours until the day you leave the unit. And when you're clearing the unit, you turn your weapon
Turn on
off.
it in. Okay.
And they got to give it to another soldier, I imagine, right?
Yep.
So Germany.
What about it?
I'm just thinking about you in Germany.
Red light district.
Red light district, beer. I mean, oh man. John, and this is kind of a tough question, but part of the reason we're supporting Wounded Warriors is for ones that actually come home that have been wounded, and or maybe they've got PTSD, or they need help to get back into this, living in the normal world after being over in some of that hell that you guys go through. Have you had any experience with Wounded Warriors, or anybody that you know?
I know several guys who have worked with Wounded Warriors who actually have been helped by Wounded Warriors.
That's wonderful. I think they were established about 16 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Their main goal is to help soldiers get back into society and fit back in and deal with PTSD or any kind of mental type of illness that comes from being over in that kind of combat zone, down to help with getting them back employed and into the workplace. I mean, they're all over the board. They're one of the best nonprofits that I know of. Howard, have you had any experience with anybody with the Wounded Warriors that you can think of?
I know a few people.
How do they feel about them?
How do they feel about Wounded?
Yeah.
Oh, they love it. They love it. I mean, few of them got help with jobs. Few of them, like you said, with PTSD, they help them in many ways.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. You know, I went online and saw some video clips, and I don't want you guys to give me any gory details because it's some of that stuff that you come back home from or with has got to be
Live with it every
horrifying. And I guess
Every day.
Every day, exactly. So, what were the highlights of your? We know yours. It was the red light district and beer, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
What were what were the highlights and still you're still doing this, John? So I'm sure you still have some that come along.
My thing is I mean, I do a lot of recovery work. I love being on the record. I've always loved the record. That's what we done together in Iraq. I mean, that was probably the highlight of my 15 months in Iraq was being on that record.
So you get blown up things and bring them home and fix them.
We go out after they get hit and we pick them up and then bring them back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotcha.
honestly, my highlight for my career was coming home, honestly. I mean, I went over there 3 times, and I was over there from the progression of when the IEDs first started, they were just blowing them up. Then they changed over their tactics, they added more stuff to it, and they had the really bad stuff where it was blowing through the Humvees with a shape charge, and I watched the progression of it. I was with the hospital unit for the first 2 tours, so I seen a lot of the aftermath.
Yeah.
And just being able to come home was probably the best thing.
Okay. Well, Dr. Al and I were talking last week about this video, and I got to know. I mean, I love my country. I'm an American through and through, and obviously you guys are too. But what was the driving force? I mean, how did you volunteer back in a day where it was pretty radical? Okay, you really did. It was very radical. A lot of people didn't believe in what was going on over in Vietnam, and they were drafting soldiers back then because they couldn't get enough volunteers. So, what drove you to volunteer? There had to be something.
I wasn't doing nothing but hanging out on the streets, being me, and I don't know. I said I want to try something different, so I talked to my mother about it. She said it'd be a great idea, so I went and volunteered.
Do you think it made a major difference in you from a teenager to manhood or whatever?
It made a great difference because I learned a lot of stuff when I was there. Something that you never will forget.
Yes,
Once you get that training, you never forget it.
absolutely.
You never
John,
forget.
what about you? What drove you to enlist?
The thing that actually drove me to enlist the first time was actually my family, my daughter.
Really?
Yeah, my daughter at the time needed heart surgery, and so I joined the military because they were able to help me out with that, and I haven't looked back. I love it.
Wow. Everybody's got a different reason for why they did it.
I wanted to
Chris?
change the scenery.
You want to change the scene?
I just wanted to change the scenery. I didn't care what I was doing or where I went. I just wanted to change the scenery.
Change the scene, but all 3 of you were willing to lay your life out there
You don't think about that.
for a belief.
You
You
really
don't
don't
think
think
about
it
that.
As soon as you sign that dotted line, that's like saying, my life is yours. Do with it what you want, because they're gonna do what they want.
Well, that's
And
commitment.
pretty much that's what your life is,
And
theirs.
You learn to embrace it.
Yeah.
And you don't think about, okay, I'm getting ready to run towards gunfire, or I'm getting ready to drive this Humvee that could get blown up. You don't think about it. You just go out
Wow.
there and
You
do it.
just go do it.
I can't even imagine it. Dr. Al, you got anything else?
Well, other than, would you do it over again? How old were you, first of all, when you
I went,
volunteered?
19.
19?
Uh-huh.
How about you, John?
I was in my mid-20s when I joined.
When you joined?
And-
Okay. I just wondered how old you were, because usually the younger ones aren't afraid to run into the fire. They don't know any better.
They don't know any better.
That's right.
The older ones just know how to run better.
Yeah.
Would he started to ask that, but would each and every one of you do it again?
I'd go tomorrow.
You'd go tomorrow. Howard?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much?
Yeah,
I
because
don't mean at your age of 90. I meant when you were a kid, okay? I'm teasing you. Howard's only like 55.
Okay. Would I do it again? No.
You wouldn't? Okay.
It was some aspects of it I didn't like.
Fair enough.
Not the fighting part. That would have been fun, but you know, but.
Okay, I'm gonna butt in here on Howard. I know the parts he don't like. He doesn't like being told what to do. I've worked with him for a long time, so let's
It-
just,
it wasn't
let's
so
just
much of
clarify
not-
it wasn't our government.
It wasn't so much of not being told, it's how they tell it, Tim.
I understand.
It's
I
how they
do.
tell you. I don't like being yelled at.
I think they've changed a little bit since our day.
Well,
But they
you,
can't beat you no
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
really?
They can't beat you no more.
Yeah, they can't.
They've got
Um,
cars
but-
they pull out. Their
Back on,
cars
back on track, John, would you do it again?
In a heartbeat.
I guess you would, you're still doing it. I mean, you can actually get called away, right? I mean, they
Yes.
could, if something happened terrible that they needed people, they would call
Yes.
you back in. That's pretty amazing. Chris, you said already you'd do it again in a heartbeat.
I don't want to change jobs though. I don't want to be a mechanic. I
You
want
want-
to kick doors in.
You wanna
I
fight?
want to fight.
Well, I can appreciate it. I don't know how the rest of this world feels. I know how this room feels. We're pro-America all the way. God bless America is how we feel. And I am very, very honored to be even doing this video. And guess what? It's Veterans Day while we're filming this.
So that means we get the rest of the day paid, right? We go home.
Yeah, rest day paid and go home.
You heard it.
Tim, I just told him that. No, I just want to reach out to any veteran that is active right now or has served and let them know how much I appreciate them. I mean that from the heart. I mean, I've never been there. All I've ever gotten is the freedoms that you guys have went and fought for me to afford. And I can tell you, I value those freedoms, and I know that it's taken guys and gals like y'all to do that. So it's an honor to do this video. I truly mean that. You have anything?
Same here. Thank you for your service, really. I really thank you. I was lucky when I got to stay home. I didn't have to do that. Of course, I had a wife and kids, but still, it's really special person to do a special thing. And I'm surprised more people don't realize it. Even though I think today more and more people are beginning to thank y'all for it. And remember now, we're having this sale on December the 10th. And it's and we're trying to raise money for the Wounded Warriors. We put in $1,000, and hopefully our goal is 5,000, and hopefully more. But anyway,
Absolutely.
these guys deserve a lot of credit.
Absolutely. Check them out, the Wounded Warrior Project. They've got a website, and I'm telling you, they get involved. And anyone I've talked to that's been involved with them really thinks it's one of the most worthy organizations there is out there. So it's the Wounded Warriors Project. We're going to be putting more out about it through December 10th. We hope you support it. I'm the old kid with Houston Auto Auction, and this is part of our staff. Adios.